Hello world, Wendy from Cali here, back with another Mixed Manny chat. This week I wanted to do something with this retired set that I got from one of the Color Street stylists that I used to support, Lisa Bristol, so shout out to Lisa. And it's meant to be. It's so beautiful, just reminds me of winter, and I really wanted to use favorite flannel because just reminds me of being cozy, and because it's cold, favorite flannel and meant to be just look like they would go great together. So here we go, opening up this unicorn of a set, old retired set that I've been hanging on to for a very long time. But here we go. Alright, should have opened them probably before I started recording, but that's okay. No problem there. Hope everyone's having a good 2024 so far. And staying safe and healthy. But here we are with my really short nails because I've been getting back into baking and I've been rearranging our kitchen, organizing our kitchen, and just really rough with my hands, so I've had to keep my nails short because of that. So that's why they're short right now. Plus in the wintertime, typically my nails, they get all like really like dry and brittle. So I have to remind myself to use cuticle oil and lotion and all that stuff. So yeah, and drink more water, which is super hard to do when the weather's really cold. Like, I don't think about drinking water and I have to remind myself to drink more water. So that definitely doesn't help with my nails. Alright, so because this set is like super old, I'm sure that I have to worry about whether or not it's melty, because you have to store these in like room temperature, and I think Color Street's website says that you're supposed to use the nails like within a year or something like that, but none of us really do that. We're all hunting for the old retired sets from 2017 and forward and hanging on to a bunch of old sets. So there are times where they haven't been stored properly or whatever, and it's hard to use, but I think these will still be viable sets. So let's see. I'm going to use these. I've actually started using these second to last thumb ones, and they actually fit properly. So surprisingly, that wasn't the case before, but it is now. And because my nails are super short still, I'm able to use one strip for 2 nails. So that's always helpful, especially if the sets are, see, I have to worry about whether or not it's like too melty and stuck to the plastic. So I gotta be careful and peel them off slowly. So this one looks like I can still use it. So we're good. But yeah, start of the year meant getting organized at home, and I think my dad was one who started the whole thing. He wanted to buy a bunch of racks to organize the house back in December, and that kind of sparked a whole movement in the house of just organizing. Like Panda Bear was organizing the garage and all our stuff in the garage. Many decades of stuff in that garage. And I was beginning to organize all the stuff in our kitchen, which then sparked me wanting to start baking and cooking again. And in fact, our neighbor, Jennifer, had given us some cookies. And hearing how the cookies were really good, I was like, okay, let me try them. And I'm like, hey, I can make them just as good, if not better. And so that also sparked a competition of, can I make better cookies than my neighbor Jennifer? And so there was a lot of baking happening here at the house. Trying to perfect the chocolate chip cookie. And then I also got too ambitious wanting to make cheese crackers, homemade cheese crackers at the same time. So anyways, we finally finished off the cookie dough and the cracker dough this past weekend. And it was really nice to clear the fridge, because now we actually have space to see what's in our fridge and stop losing all of our food items. But yes. And my dad's been on a really big kick of finding restaurants on Google Maps, I think. And today we went to one that he had found that's been in our city for many years. We just never have ventured over there to eat at this noodle house. And I'm blanking on the name of the noodle house, but it isn't too far from our house. And we ended up ordering a whole bunch of dishes. My most favorite dish that we ordered was pork intestines, and that probably sounds not appetizing to most folks, but to me it was the best dish. Really tasty. Also, their hand-cut noodles were really good. And then my mom also ordered her favorite, which is these like fried green beans. Like almost every restaurant we go to, if they have that on the menu, she typically will order it, because it's something that she can't easily cook at home herself. And so this restaurant actually did that dish justice. It was very tasty. Not too spicy, but also spicy enough where it was like you could taste the spice, basically. So yeah. I don't know why I haven't used this set until now. This set is beautiful. I remember ordering it from Lisa. She was having, I want to say she was having an auction for retired sets that she had on hand. And this one I totally, I had to have it, because I don't know, there's something about the mint green that's beautiful. Like, even my pajamas are kind of that color. So during the winter time, I do like the lighter colors, but also the darker colors. It really depends on the mood. But yeah. I finally caught up to watching Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Don't know if any of you are watching that on Disney Plus, but got to finish episode 4 yesterday at my sister-in-law Carla's house while the kiddos were playing Monopoly with their uncle. So that was nice. And what else did we watch? I can't even remember anymore. All I know was that we had wanted to finish watching Back to the Future. So over New Year's we had watched Back to the Future, the first one. And we started watching the second one, but it got really late, so we stopped watching. But when we wanted to pick up where we left off, found out that it is no longer streaming on Peacock. So you have to have I think right now it's on Hulu in order to watch that. Or, of course, you can always pay to rent or buy it on Amazon, but who owns anything anymore as far as streaming videos and DVDs and all that? I feel like that's a thing of the old times. We kind of have gotten rid of owning things. But we ended up just watching whatever was available. And now I can't think of what it was that we watched. It was really fun making the cheese crackers with my nieces because they really wanted to cut out all the different shapes. So we had a star cutter, a heart cutter, and a like scalloped circle cutter. And Lilith had picked the heart. I knew she would pick the heart. That's why the arm warmers that I had purchased for the girls for Christmas, you know, Lilith had one with a red heart, while Amalika had blue stars. And so it was kind of like I knew that they would pick the shapes that they picked. But yes, they were trying to compete with each other as to who can cut out the most shapes. But of course, Lilith is 2 years older, and she was seated in a position that was easier to cut out most of the shapes. So we ended up with a ton of heart-shaped crackers, with the stars being the second most, and then the circles, I was cutting the circles out, and the least amount were circle-shaped. So I am almost done listening to the audiobooks by Sarah Knight. So I've been talking about listening to audiobooks, and I forgot the author's name. I knew the first name was Sarah, but I forgot the last name. But her name's Sarah Knight, and I kind of just stumbled across her book on my library app. And so now I'm on a third book called You Do You. Just kind of talking about, you know, not feeling obligated to be somebody that you're not, and just live your truth and all that. And I think that's pretty awesome. So I'm almost done with that book, and then there's another book that will be the fourth one, and I'm not quite remembering the last title of that one, but I realized that my library app doesn't have all of the books, so that will be the last one I'll get to listen to, and then I will move on to other books. I know that I want to read or listen to the latest Percy Jackson book that came out in, I think, September of 2023. And I think I might get it on Audible, but I haven't decided yet because there are actually a few books that I want to listen to, and my library app doesn't have them, and so I have to kind of determine which is more important to me at this point. So I haven't decided yet, so I'm just hanging on to that credit right now. And I know Panda Bear has some books for me to read that I want to start getting into as well. So yeah, 2024 is definitely going to be a year with way more reading than watching stuff, because why not? good to kind of stimulate the brain with reading. Oh, that color is beautiful. Yep. Oh, before I forget, I need to make a nail stick because sometimes I will forget until the last minute and I've already heat sealed it and then I have to reopen it and that's not fun. So let's do that really quick here. Let's make this. And why do I do this? If you're new here, I just do my nails and chit chat about life. But one of the color street stylists that I follow on YouTube and Facebook, Tara Stoddard, she's the one who showed me that she does this as well. She uses these nail sticks and she keeps like all of the nails that she's ever used. So here's an example. I have 4 of these. This one's an overlay one. But I keep almost all of the nails that I've ever used, the color street nails, so I can kind of remember. And then also it's nice to have them because you can take, for example, an overlay one and you can lay it over and see what it would look like before you actually commit to doing the mani, the mixed mani with the sets if you wanted to. So yeah, she's done that and I thought that was an awesome idea, and so I do that too. But yes, this set is going on like a dream and it's an old set, so that makes me happy. So I was going to use that one on the pointer finger, but I realized that it might be a little too wide because my middle finger and my pointer finger are kind of different in size. Oh, but then that might mess it up. So let's see. Let's find out if that little bit that got peeled off might make it so that it's not going to cover my whole nail. Oh no, it should be fine. There's a little bit exposed, but we're going to throw a favorite flannel over it anyways, so I don't think anyone's going to really notice, except me. We don't keep these on for more than like a week anyways. Sometimes it gets swapped out sooner if I'm feeling like it, but most of the time I try to keep them on for like a week. I was on Facebook in one of the groups, the color street groups, nail groups that I am part of, and someone said that they keep theirs on for 3 weeks. I don't know how they do that, because after like a week I'm already like, oh, I need to change it. I've been seeing a whole bunch of advertisements on Facebook, which Facebook is overrun with ads now. And our phones are listening to us for sure. And they're saving all of our browsing history and offering things that we've either talked about or searched for or whatever. But long story short, the brand Hollow Taco is a nail polish that I guess a YouTuber started, from what I've been reading about. But that YouTuber no longer records YouTube videos? I don't know. But it's a brand that I've always kind of like looked at and I've never really purchased from. But one of the ads popped up and the color was this really awesome deep like indigo purple color, and the color was called Midnight Owl, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's like they named that and created that just for me. So of course I had to go look at the website and just look at stuff. I haven't made any purchases because I'm just not ready for buying regular nail polish as of yet, but I know I posted a post today in Stacy's Facebook group, Stacy's Sassy Crew. If you don't follow her on YouTube, Stacy's Sassy Styles, or you're not part of her Facebook group, you should be. It's a lot of fun. But I posted on her group kind of like a question for the Sassy crew about Holo Taco and who's used it and is it worth the price tag and all of that. So I'm just waiting for responses. So far I've gotten 2. And the 2 comments have mentioned buying like the toppers that are like holographic glitter and stuff like that, which is kind of cool because then you could put that, like for example with these nails, put a holographic topper over this and completely change it instead of using a clear overlay, which I'm going to use today. So that's a great idea. I think that's amazing. And there's one called Everything Taco that has like all the different glitters. So that I'm like looking at right now thinking, if Holo Taco does a sale, I probably will end up getting that. And then there was another color which I'm really like loving the color. Like when it comes to nail polish, I have to really love the color in order to like actually buy it, because you want to be able to use it over and over. You don't want to just buy it, use it once, which with Color Street you could totally do that because it's a one-time use type of product. So even though I'm gonna save these for later and hope that they work, but you can buy lots of different colors and styles with Color Street and not feel bad about it. And then if you have one that you really like, you can buy repeats, although I don't typically like buying repeats very often because there's just so many that it's like, why would I spend the money to buy repeats? There's been maybe a handful of sets that have come out where I'm like, oh, I love that set so much that I need more than one. But most of the time it's not like that. But with nail polish, I have to really absolutely love the color and see myself wearing it over and over again before I buy it. So all that being said, there was a color besides that Midnight Owl that I totally want that Midnight Owl. There was this deep like burgundy red color called I'm Over Brew that when I first looked at the website said it was out of stock, and then they sent me an email saying, oh, it's back in stock. And so now I'm like, oh, I really want that color. So debating about it. And then a bunch of the nail gals that are part of the Facebook groups I'm in love using Peely Base. So Peely Base is a base coat you can put as your first layer on your nails, where you're able to just peel the nails off. So very similar to when, like, if you guys have ever had like kids nail polish, the nail polish that you buy for like little girls and stuff like that, where it's so easy to just like peel off the color instead of using nail polish like remover to remove it. That Peely Base kind of acts exactly like that, where you're able to just peel off the polish. So it makes it easy to have like a one night mani, like maybe for like a special occasion or something, where you're just like, oh, I want to paint my nails for that occasion, but I want to change it up later or whatever. Makes it easy to do that. So Holo Taco has a Peely Base, but so do a lot of other nail polish company brands. Like Orally is one that I use a lot, and I saw that they also have a Peely Base. So I don't know, like I'm like, which one's the best? I have no idea, but I'm already like looking at Holo Taco going, do I want to purchase from you? I haven't purchased like nail polish in a while, because ever since I discovered Color Street in 2021, it's been pretty much all about Color Street. But I bought this case off of Temu, which I stored a bunch of my nail polishes. It has like 48 slots, and it opens on both sides, that case. And I really like seeing my bottles in one spot. Obviously, one case is not enough to hold all of my nail polishes, because I was obsessed with nail polish before I started dating Panda Bear, and I lived with my sister. Oh, so here's meant to be all by itself. Beautiful. But now we're going to put Favorite Flannel over it. But yeah, when I used to live with my sister and her now husband, I lived very close to work, and I was obsessed with nail polish. Like, I would do my nails every 3 days with like conventional nail polish. And one of the reasons why I did it so often was because conventional nail polish on me, because I'm so rough with my hands. See, I'm already messing things up here. But it gets chipped like after a few days of wear. So that would be why I would paint my nails so often. But I also got to be super creative with my nails, because I had so many different polishes. I had over 100 bottles, different colors, and I would do different designs, especially during the holidays. At one point, someone had told me I looked like I could own a nail salon at how many nail polishes I owned. But yes, ever since I moved out and stopped living with my sister and her husband, at that time boyfriend, I kind of stopped doing my nails for a very long time and hadn't gotten back into doing it until discovering Color Street. Actually, that's not true, because during the pandemic, I did get started on using nail polish again on my nails. And then my cousin Jennifer introduced me to Color Street by inviting me to one of her nail bars. That's what they were called at the time. But they're now called Beauty Socials. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out which one will go best with. I think this is the one I typically use for my pinky. So yeah, they're not gonna all match, I just realized, because I like to use the one for the two. So let's put these away, because those are not the ones I'm gonna use. Oh, but I should use one. Let's use one to make the nail stick really quick. But yeah, so I've been mostly using Color Street, but sometimes I don't want to use a Color Street overlay with the Color Street set, and so having nail polishes might be nice to kind of incorporate. But that's the look I'm going for right now with the Favorite Flannel, and I think it's going to look beautiful. But yeah, okay, so let's figure out which ones I need to use. I think these for sure, and then I think I want to use that one for my pointer finger. So let's put these in here. So yeah, Holo Taco. Those of you that are watching, have you used that brand before? Is it worth the price tag? I would love to know in the comments below if you have any opinion on that. But I am super excited. The Color Street Valentine's Day sets were released this past week, and I did purchase a few, and I'm very excited for those sets. Especially, there's a red jelly set called Bed of Roses. That one I'm most excited about. I was very tempted to buy 2 of those, but because I haven't seen them in person yet, I didn't want to buy 2 of them. So I just bought 1 for now. But yeah, I like the jelly sets because they're sheer enough. They're semi-transparent, so they are enough where you can actually put them over a Color Street design set and it'll alter the color, but you can still see the design underneath. And so I love that about the jellies, and I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for a really good red one. Watermelon Crush that came out with one of the jelly releases that Color Street had in the summertime was very close, but I think Bed of Roses that just came out with the Valentine's release is going to be even closer to the red that most of us who like red nails are looking for a red jelly. So very excited about that. Originally I had leftovers from Lacy Business. So Lacy Business is like a kind of goldish set with a black lace design over it, and I opened that set for my niece Emmeline, one of the family vacations that we went on a couple years back, and she has tiny nails because she's so young. So I have a ton of leftovers of Lacy Business, and I've been hanging on to it for a very long time because I've been wanting to change the gold color to more of a red color, kind of similar to a retired set that Color Street had called Moulin Rouge, I think it was called. But there hasn't been a jelly set that has come out where it was going to be what we want it to be. So Bed of Roses, I think, might be the set that will look amazing over Lacy Business. So yeah. Let's see here. Trying to determine how I want to lay this on my fingers here so that it looks... I think the question will be which hand is going to be my nail-fee hand, right? Because that one's the one that will want the most flannel to show up. I'm thinking this one might be it. I'm looking for new books to read, since this year will be more about reading and less about watching. So if you guys have any good books that you're like, oh my gosh, this book is a must read, comment below. Would love to know what you guys are reading and what you would recommend. And it doesn't have to be books that you've read. You could have listened to them as an audiobook. Whatever floats your boat. Would love to hear about it and see if it's something that I'd be interested in. I know that Stacy Adams had posted recently that Marcy has a book club Facebook group, and I'm thinking about joining it. I just don't know, as far as commitment-wise, what a book club would entail. Although I might just join the Facebook group just to join. I don't know if that's even a possibility, if I could just join it just to lurk in the background and get book recommendations, or if being part of that Facebook group means I have to like fully participate and read the books that are on the list. I have no idea, but thinking about it. And then, of course, waiting for Netflix to release season 3 of Bridgerton. So they skipped over the brother Benedict and went straight to the brother Colin, which will be interesting to see that play out, what the show is going to do versus what was actually in the books. Because they don't, from what I've seen of seasons 1 and 2, they don't fully follow the books. So it'll be interesting to see when that show gets released what they've done with it. But yes. Alright, let's see here. This one on this finger. We are almost done. That's the one nice thing about having these color street sets, is that if you were to try to paint this design on your nails, I can't even imagine how long it would take to try and paint a flannel design on a nail. Because I remember painting dots, little Easter egg nails that I did one year with conventional nail polish. It took a little bit of time, so I don't even know like what it would be like to try and paint this flannel design. And I realized my nails are really short, so some of the flannel design is like cutting off where it looks just like a weird line, and that's okay. I might actually add some nail decals on top, but I don't know. Because also this simple mint to be by itself looks really pretty, so maybe we just leave it well alone. Because it is a really pretty color. I just don't like using just the one set, because if you're using your hands a lot and you're using a lot of, you know, washing your hands or washing dishes and whatnot, having just the one set just leaves room for the nails chipping really fast, just like regular conventional nail polish, of course. Unless you're using gel nail polish. If you use gel nail polish, then you probably won't have to deal with chipping, but that's a whole nother story as when it comes to trying to remove the nail polish, like the pains you have to go through to do that. Not really what I want to do. Alright, but I apologize for all the noise too, sharing an office with Panda Bear. So sometimes there will be background noises, and it's alright. Alright, we are almost done. Look at that. Lay that down. With the color street overlays, you don't want them over too dark of a color because the black won't show. Because these are 100% nail polish strips, so it's not like using like a sticker or anything like that where the color will shine through no matter what. And so that's why I wanted to use something almost icy looking, which Meant to Be looks pretty icy, but also not like a blue ice. I really like that greenish spearmint color, which is probably why they named it that, Meant to Be. So yeah. But here's the last ones right here. Now the question is, do I want the bigger flannel or do I want the smaller flannel? I'm thinking I want the bigger one. The bigger one just looks nicer in my opinion. There was another overlay set that is retired that I really love, and that one I do actually have multiples of, and it's called Plaid About You. And that one is much easier to get a more consistent match across all of your nails than this Favorite Flannel. And I thought about using that set for this mixed mani, but then I really wanted to use Favorite Flannel and see if I would want to get another one of these before they retire it from the website. Or have they already retired this from the website? I can't remember. But needless to say, Favorite Flannel's pretty, but I like Plaid About You much more. So don't need another one of this one. But it is very pretty. Especially over Meant to Be, which is beautiful. It's like just the right amount of shimmer, but not enough where it's like glittery, if that makes sense. But that is what it looks like. I think that's very pretty. There's another one, another set that had come out around the same time as Favorite Flannel. And I don't remember the name of it, but it was like a houndstooth. That was beautiful. That one would have looked really nice over Meant to Be as well. But I had already used that one, and I can't recall right now what set I had used it with, but that one's really beautiful. And I remember my Auntie Carol had bought one of those sets from one of my beauty socials. So yeah, that one was really nice. And then Color Street's coming out with some hydrating lip oils, which I'm really wanting Mocha, because Mocha's like, it looks like the best neutral. And out of all the colors that they had, that one looks like the one that I would like the most over if I were to wear it alone or over like a lip color of mine. So looking forward to when that happens. Alright, here's the finished look. I will do a little bit of cleanup work offline, and then tomorrow remember to take a nailfie so I can post it on my Facebook group, Wendy's Nailfie Studio. If you're not part of that Facebook group, link is below if you want to join. But otherwise, thanks for watching. You've gotten this far. Let's have you put what emoji elicits wintertime vibes. I think there's like a emoji where it looks like the person's like frozen. That would be a nice one. So if you've watched all the way through, go ahead, and if you don't want to leave a comment, you can simply comment with that freezing frozen emoji, and I'll know that you watched the whole video. Alright, that is all. I will see you all next time. Peace.